and gentlemen, please, if we could introduce our first act, that's when you start doing that part. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jorgia!
How we do it? How's the atmosphere? I'm just asking because I'm worried about climate change. Alright, I've been taking care of my health. I've been wearing mouth tape to bed, which is supposed to help breathe through your nose to get better quality of sleep. But I'll worry about the health effects just now, right? Because now I'm not getting my AIDS virus. I think I'm probably missing out on one. Yeah, you guys seem like pretty cool people. Yeah, you're pretty cool. Anyone else be a library captain? Just me? Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was the only one who applied back in primary school. But joke's on everyone else, alright? Because I've got to skip class to run the library. Yeah. Pretty good gig now, isn't it? Yeah. Real barcode scanner and everything. Yep. And the school didn't have enough staff, but they did have little Miss Free Labour over here. Yeah. And I think that's really shaped me, because to this day I'm still a nerd. I love reading. I think books are lit. I love reading. And yeah, I love reading. I love gardening and knitting and crochet. I like to think of myself as a retiree in my spare time, whenever I'm not working. And I've even been listening to AM radio, which I don't know why we ever bothered upgrading the quality. I've been listening to my local, which is Mornington Peninsula, 1377, which I think is when it was founded. And I love it. I love it. But I can tell I'm not the target market for this radio station, because the ads are all like, are the stairs in your home getting to be a challenge? Well, install an in-home stair lift and keep living in the home you love. I know, imagine owning a home. Yeah. But I love hearing what they advertise to old people, because I find it helps me understand them a bit better. Like when my granddad's sending me a clearly AI-generated video of a woman so fat she sinks a boat. I'm just trying to understand where that comes from. Or my nana, she sent me an AI photo as well of a horse with the colouring of a Dalmatian. Is it my responsibility to tell her that's AI? She's going to be dead before it matters. Surely I can just let her live in this magical land of magical creatures that whatever we can imagine. No. Alright, I'll tell her. No, I'm still in my 20s. I'm nearing my 30s now, getting into my late 20s. I have a grey hair, so basically one foot in the grave. And now as a woman at this age, I'm going through this kind of sacred feminine rite of passage and reading it I love. Which in my opinion is probably the best thing to come out of 9/11. It's definitely one of. You guys see that? If you don't know, 9/11 is in Eat, Pray, Love. 9/11 happens and she doesn't call her ex-husband, and that's how she knows that she should go to Italy. So she goes to Italy and she eats, and I haven't finished it, so I don't know what happens next. Please don't. Recently my boyfriend came to me with some celebrity gossip. He said, "Did you hear about Channing Tatum? He's been accused of human trafficking and sex crimes." Channing Tatum? I was like, how does Magic Mike go from sexy dancing to coordinated crime? I didn't think they had many transferable skills. But then I went to look this up, and my boyfriend leans over and he goes, "Oh, did I say Channing Tatum? I meant Andrew Tate." That's how rumours spread. So I vowed not to tell anyone. I've been getting into hunting lately. Yeah, just brushing up on my skills. Mainly Easter egg hunting. Yeah, alright, I know you think it's not real hunting. But I actually find it quite difficult because the kids are so quick, it's hard to get a clear shot. Yeah. So to practice my Easter egg hunting, I've been hunting snails. I'm sure you can see why, they hide in very similar places. And My record's 115. Pretty good. To kill snails, you put them in a bucket of soapy water. And then, that's not the end of it. You've got to stir the bucket every so often to prevent escapees. And so they get dizzy. And then they all drown together in a mass watery grave. Now it seems like real hunting, doesn't it? Yeah. I was driving along recently and I was driving behind a cattle truck, and on the back it said beef bus. And I was getting a bit sad, thinking like, this is the last thing these cows are ever going to see. And then I look out and over the green hills is a rainbow. I thought, oh wow, maybe it's not all bad. At least for the cows on this side of the bus. So on the other side there was a McDonald's. But try to put it out of my mind. Sorry, I haven't got segues yet, but we'll figure them out later. I was out recently and I saw a man walking his cockatoo. Just wandering around the suburbs with his cocky out. If you're wondering, it was one of the smaller white ones as opposed to one of the big black ones. And yeah, I got to touch it. I asked him, how does one get into this situation? Right? And he said his son originally owned the bird, but then his son got married. And for whatever reason, that woman didn't want to own a cockatoo. So he gave the bird to his father. The son had to exchange one bird for another. You know what they say, a bird's hand in marriage is worth two in the bush. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. And then the son got divorced in this story. And I said, oh, he didn't take the bird back. And this guy goes, no, now he's got a galah. And he brings the galah around for playdates with the cockatoo. Imagine how the cockatoo feels in that situation. He used to be this man's #1 bird, and he's been replaced with a flaming galah. Apparently that guy's been single since then. I know, what? He said he was once bitten, twice shy. Imagine owning 2 large birds and being scared of being bitten by a woman. Alright guys, I'll leave you with this one. My name's Jorgia Rice. Recently I found out I share my surname with a widely cultivated grain. You'll hear of it soon. It's getting pretty popular. It's a family name, comes from my dad's side of the family. He was one of 3 brothers, snap, crackle and pop. And I once had someone say to me, oh, your surname's Rice. Is that an Asian name? No, I'm white, Rice. Yeah, it's alright, we laugh about it in my family. Me and my sister Jasmine. And my brother Basmati. Alright, thank you so much for having me, guys.